What is going on, guys? How are you all doing today? We have the Amazing Spider-Man issue 16.1 on screen, and in case you guys don't know what this issue is, like why have they brought out a 16.1, it's mainly because the new writer Gerry Conway is taking over the Amazing Spider-Man series whilst Dan Slott goes away and works on the Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows and Secret Wars series and saga and all that. So yeah, now that we've cleared that up and now that you understand why we have this issue and why it's here, we might as well just jump into the comic straight away, so let's go for it. Alright, so I think one of the main things almost immediately as soon as you get into this comic is the artwork. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's probably one of my favourite comic books that are out right now with this type of artwork, and I hope to God that the Amazing Spider-Man series gets this art like in the future comics. I don't know what it is, but I'm one of those people that really like that comic booky artwork, you know, like Mark Bagley in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. Like, that is the type of art that I like in comics, the one where you can actually tell that it's a comic book, and that's what we're getting here in this issue, and I absolutely love it. Now, in case any of you guys need a bit of backstory, well, what's going down here is this issue is mainly based around when Peter first returned from the Spider-Verse. So this is the very first day where he's back from the Spider-Verse pretty much, and he's getting back into the city, and he's getting back to fighting normal criminals, technically. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a police standoff against Tombstone. Now, some of you guys will know that Tombstone is not a man to be trifled with, especially from the Spectacular Spider-Man TV series. And as you can see on screen, one of the guards actually shot a gun and Tombstone crushed his head. Like, damn. Also, I think this is probably one of the parts where the artwork shines in the comic, especially with the fight scenes between Tombstone and Spider-Man, and where Spider-Man's dodging the bullets. Like, there was a scene just back there, well, there was a panel back there where Spider-Man was in his classic Spidey pose, and it looks so awesome and epic, and I don't know what it is. This is literally just my favourite comic book for the art. I mean, every time I see some like a different page, I just have to talk about the art again. I don't know why, but as you can see on screen, Tombstone gets away with going to prison. In court, he gets set free, and there are no charges against him. Now, of course, that's a little bit what kind of goes on in New York quite a lot. Obviously, maybe not in real life, but in the comics, we see Kingpin walk away, we see Tombstone walk away. All the big, powerful people with the names always get to walk away, and the reason why Captain Yuri is taking this so personally is because her partner, Teddy, actually did get shot, and as she's been saying throughout the comic, Teddy did actually mentor her to, you know, she learned everything that she knows from Teddy, and now he's in some kind of coma because of Tombstone's raid and all that. So yeah, it was going pretty crazy. Now, of course, Peter does actually pop up because he's actually there installing a new electrical system, because of course Parker Industries is in the electrical business ever since Electro and all of that crazy stuff went down. We did also get to see that little thing of Superior Spider-Man there and how it overshadows Peter, mainly because of what Superior Spider-Man did within killing people. And of course, Peter's talking about following the rules, and if you don't follow the rules, then it's going to creep back up on you. And that was a nice reference to Superior Spider-Man. I don't know if you guys noticed again, but you're probably going to get sick of this, but that artwork for Superior Spider-Man as well was awesome. Now, continuing throughout the rest of the comic, you did see Yuri's partner Teddy actually die whilst he was in the coma there, which is pretty horrific. And of course, back there we did just get a little visit from Mr. Negative, providing Yuri with evidence and pictures of the judge from the courtroom actually accepting illegal drugs off one of Tombstone's men, and of course that makes the judge a criminal as well. And once she goes to the chief with this and the chief says that this doesn't prove anything, Yuri takes it upon herself to become the Wraith. Now, in case you guys don't know, Yuri is actually the Wraith. Now, the Wraith hasn't been seen since Amazing Spider-Man issue 664, way before Superior Spider-Man became Superior Spider-Man, and she gave it up because Carly actually discovered her secret, and yeah, so she just remained as like a police detective or a police captain and stayed out of that vigilante lifestyle. But sometimes when the law can't get things done, you have to take things into your own hands. And of course, Spider-Man's there to help her out, and they actually discover that Tombstone's men are actually up there in some construction site. And if you haven't realised yet, the Wraith and Spider-Man are actually there to get evidence to put Tombstone and Judge Howell away for prison, for life, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, Spider-Man actually directs an anti-tank missile into the water before it manages to blow up any of New York, and we get back to discover the Wraith has actually used the anti-tank missile to blow open a vault to gain access to the evidence to put Tombstone and Judge Howell away. Now, Spider-Man seems to be a little bit more concerned about the fact that Yuri is supposed to be a cop, so when she blew open the vault, she could have killed somebody. Now, what you've got to see is the fact that when Yuri puts on the costume and becomes the Wraith, she's no longer tied down to the rules of the cops. She becomes her own person at her own accord. Very similar to Oliver Queen in Arrow. When he becomes the Arrow, he's no longer accustomed to random laws. He can just do whatever he wants, kind of. And that's what we're seeing here. Now, that is where the issue ends, when Mr. Negative is looking up at the tower, knowing that he's got bigger plans in mind. And eventually, I think we're going to see him a lot more in the Amazing Spider-Man comics. Hopefully, because I think he's a really interesting villain. I mean, he's Mr. Negative. Like, you don't really get a lot of those people with them types of powers type of thing, you know, that kind of background. So, that's awesome. Of course, I've already mentioned it. I absolutely love the art. So I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10, mainly because it's a nice transition from the Spider-Verse back to normal life, especially with fighting regular criminals and back to fighting people like Mr. Negative and Tombstone and stuff like that. But of course, the artwork just made it for me, and I would absolutely love it if we could get this artwork in future Amazing Spider-Man issues. But what did you guys think of the artwork, the story, the comic? Let me know in the comment section below, because I would love to discuss that with you. And of course, make sure you go to the links in the description to follow me on Twitter and of course my Facebook page. I did just preview the upcoming Civil War 2015 saga that's actually coming out during the Secret Wars saga, so go over to my Facebook page and see those. And of course, I did just preview Miles Morales The Ultimate Spider-Man issue 12, and the Amazing Spider-Man issue 17 will be up on there very soon, so check that out. Last but not least, guys, make sure you hit that like button, and of course make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat.